Okay, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your time. I also want to thank you for your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, remember to click the subscribe button. It's down there. Okay. Today, what we're going to do, today we're going to make a checkers board or a chess board or a drafts board. Okay, so we're going to use a library called the Turtle library. Okay, this Turtle library, it enables you, or it gives you functionalities where you can draw geometrical shapes. You can draw the square, you can draw the circle, you can draw rectangle, polygons, you can name them. Okay, so the first thing we want to do to be able to use the Turtle library, we have to import it. The beauty about the Turtle library is built into Python. Okay, you don't need to install anything. So we're going to import Turtle. All right. So what I really love to do when I'm importing this Turtle library, I like to import it with an alias. Okay, st. All right. What this does is each time I call the functions in this library, I'll just have to prefix with a T. I don't necessarily have to write Turtle all the time. Okay, so right now we have imported our Turtle, so I can actually run this to check out. Okay, yeah, it's working. Everything is fine. Now let's get into what we need to do. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our environment. Okay, so what the Turtle library does is it gives you functions where you can create a canvas, and then on that canvas you can draw whatever you want. Okay, so the first thing, I want to use the functions in this Turtle library, or the methods that are within this Turtle library. Okay, so set up the environment. All right, so how do we set up the environment? Okay, so I want to create a canvas, so I'm going to create a variable called canvas, and then I'm going to assign it what? Okay, I'm going to call t dot screen with a capital letter S, right? This screen function is within the Turtle library, so I'm using the dot notation. This is the dot syntax, t dot blah blah. Since my Turtle, I've given it an alias of t. Now I can access the methods within that library using the dot blah blah. So t dot screen. Okay, what does this do? This will give me, a canvas. Okay, and then I'm going to call like a loop. There's a function that calls looping. Okay, because without that looping, my screen will not stay for as much as I would want it to stay on the screen. All right, let's just try it out. Okay, if I run this, you guys can see there's a screen that shows up and then it disappears. Okay, so I need to call this t.done. All right, this is another function, so it calls sort of like a running loop. So we need to be looping through until I cancel my program. Then that's when you have to exit. Okay, so right now, if I now run it, as you can see now, I have my my canvas running. Okay, so this is my canvas. This is where I'm going to draw the checkers board. Okay, so let me cancel. All right, so this has to go down because this has to be the last line in my code. Okay, so after having come up with a canvas, I need to change the background. So I have to say canvas.bg color, bg color, and then I can pass in any color that I want. Now I want to pass in sort of like a string, so I want to say this is going to be teal. Okay, let's see what teal looks like. If I run this, as you guys can see, this is teal, right? This is the color teal. So now I have a different background. Now I can work it out. Okay, after the background, I can change sort of like the heading on this, so I can actually say t.title. I think I can pass in the title. Okay, so I can say my checkers. All right, so like this, if I'm to run this, you will see up here there is a change, like my checkers. Now the title is sort of like changed. So now I have the title. All right, now we need to find the pen. Okay, so what happens in the turtle library? You have a canvas and you also have a pen. All right, so now it's time for us to set the pen. So we can say t dot shape. All right, so what shape do we need? We have options. Okay, we can either choose a circle, we can choose a triangle, we can choose a rectangle, but I want to go with the turtle. Okay, so right now, if I'm to run this, you guys will see there's a turtle on the screen. There's a black turtle on the screen. It's really small, so we need to increase the size. So there's a function also within this turtle library, t.shape size. I'm sure this is it. Okay, and then let me give it a size of 3, save it and run it. As you guys can see now, the turtle is a bit, visible. It's bigger now, so we can start drawing our shapes. I can also change the color. I can also sort of like t.color, change the color of this turtle, and I can give it any color of my choice. I can pass in red here and save it, and then run this. I'm just running Control B on my keyboard. Control B on my keyboard. Okay, so now I can see, as you can see guys, now I have a red turtle. All right, now we have set up our environment. Now we want to see if this turtle can actually draw something. Okay, we want to see if this turtle can draw something. So there are methods that you can use. You can say t.forward, and then you can pass in the pixels, like it works in terms of pixels. So you can say a pixel is just a dot on the screen. So we can pass in 100 pixels or 200 pixels. Let's say we want this turtle to move forward by 200 pixels. All right, let's see what happens when we give this command. So as you can see guys, this turtle moved forward by 200 pixels. It drew a line, but it's not really visible. So we can actually change the pen size. Okay, we can actually change the size of the pen. So I will come here on line 13 and say t.pen size, and then I can give it any size, like 5 or 10 or whatever size. All right, so right now if I'm to run this, you will see now it's a bit thicker. We can now see. Okay, all right, perfect. So so far we're doing fine. However, I was just showing you how the turtle can move, and if you want to turn, you have to turn by degrees. You can say turn left 90 degrees, turn right 90 degrees. All that you can do. All right, so this is the setup of our environment. The next thing we want to do is I want to make a function to draw a square. Since the checkers board is going to comprise of a number of squares, right? There are going to be 64 squares because it's going to be 8 by 8. So 8 by 8 squares is going to be 64 squares. So we want to make a function that is going to draw a square, and then we replicate that function. Okay, we multiply that by the number of times that we want it to draw on the screen. So the first function def is going to be draw square, draw underscore square, and then I pass in nothing into the function. And then as you guys would know better, if I say t.forward and then t.left, it's going to just go boom once, and then but for us to draw a square we need to move at least 4 times, right? At least 4 times. So I'm going to use a loop. Okay, so for x in range 4. Okay, this allows us to loop, and then once we have a loop, what do we want to do? We want this turtle to move forward, t.fd, forward or fd, by 100, or I could put in 50 because 100 I think is way too much. And then I could say t.left, lt or left, and then you pass in 90 like this. All right, once we finish, we're gonna out of the loop, and then we say t.fd again, and then we repeat the 50. All right, so this function is going to draw a square for us. Okay, so let's see this function at work. So I can call this function draw square, and then I'll try and run this, and you guys will see what will happen. Okay, perfect. So we have a square here right in the middle of this window, okay, or right in the middle of this canvas. Okay, so what we can actually do, if we don't want to see this turtle, we can actually come here. Before we finish, we can say t.ht, which is hide turtle. So now when we're drawing, we can actually hide our turtle. If I run this, as you guys can see, the turtle was hidden. Okay, boom, 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 boom. So we can actually have this, do this, and you know, come out nicely. Okay, now for now we don't need this function, so we have set up our function. And then if I run this now, I haven't called the function. The turtle is right in the middle of the screen. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to loop through with the for loop. Okay, so I will say for let's say for A, you can name it anything. Okay, you can name it A, B, or C, or D, whatever. For A in range, how many times do we want to loop through? We want to loop 8 times. So we want to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or going to the right side. So we want to go to the right side 8 times, and then we want to go down 8 times, or go up 8 times for us to have 64. Okay, so for ranging 8 times, and then the first thing we want to do, we want to say t.pen up. Okay, lifting the pen. This is lifting the pen. So we want it to move to a certain position on the screen, and then start from there to draw our checkers board. So t.pen up, and then t.go to, we can say go to or set position is the same thing, but I prefer go to because it's self-explanatory. We can go to a certain coordinate like X and Y coordinate. All right, so in here, as you guys can see, we need to pass in the coordinates. All right, so here I'm going to say let's go to minus 200. This is the X value, and then the Y value is going to be determined or determined by this size. So I want to pass in 30 here. Let me say 30 and then 30. We want to try and make it smaller. So here I'm going to say this A multiplied by the 30. So what this does is, I'll show you what this does. This allows us to move a step down by 30 pixels, right? Or we can move up by 30 pixels each time. Okay, giving us enough space for our square and drawing, you know, another square. All right, so this one we have it, and then here what we want to do, once it goes to this place, we want to take the pen down, t.pd or pen down. You can just write pen down or pd, okay, whatever you, and then inside this loop, this for loop, we want to create another for loop. Okay, so we are nesting loops because we want to create 8 times. We want to do it 8 times. So let's say for B in range, again it's 8 times. And then so what do you want here? Here now we want, so when we're drawing a checkers board, you guys could remember or can remember that each square has got a different color. Okay, so it's 1 and then 3 and then 5 and then 7, just like that. Or it's 2, 4, 6, 8, just like that. So here we want to set that condition up, okay, so that when the turtle starts to draw, it's going to fill one with another color, and then the next one with a different color, another one with another color, and then another one with a different color, just like that. So how do we achieve that? We use an if statement. We say if, and then we pass in A plus B. And you guys remember, A is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to start from 0 actually. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know how these loops work. Like the inner loop will loop, if it's going to loop 8 times, the first time this one goes through, this one will run through 8 times, and then it goes back again to this one. When this gets to 1, this one again runs 8 times, 2, this one again 8 times, 3, 8 times, 4, 8 times. So here we're actually drawing, our squares. Okay, so here we say if A plus B modulo, and then we use the modulo 2, okay, equals to 0. What should we do? What do we want to do? Each time we have an even number, what should we do? We need the color. So we're gonna come up with a sort of like a variable. So we can call it whatever we want, but we want it to be color. Okay, so we want the colors to be equal to some, okay, let's say green. Okay, we want the color to be green. And then, or else, if the number is not even, if it's odd, this is what it simply means. Else the colors is going to be equal to white. Okay, it's going to be white here. Okay, so after then, we are still in this loop. As you can see, guys, I'm still in this second loop. Now what do we want to do? We want to call the t dot fill color. There's a method that in the turtle library which allows us to fill the color of our shape. Okay, so t dot fill color, what do we call? We call these colors. Okay, so now we're calling this or this. All right, so it's going to alternate between this color and this color. All right, after then, we're gonna say t dot begin fill. This is how you do it, begin underscore fill. And then after you do that, now we need to call this function. We need to start drawing this function. We need to draw our squares. So we're gonna say draw squares. And then after then, we're gonna say t dot end fill. And then we're done, just like that. All right, so if I'm to run this, you guys will actually see this code actually will draw our checkers board. Okay, now it's time to run this. If I go boom, as you guys can see, okay, what happened? The major has not, okay, and underscore fill. Okay, my bad. I'm supposed to use an underscore here. Save this, run this. As you guys can actually see, it's happening. I'm actually drawing my checkers board. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 times upwards. So here we are on 2. We're gonna go 3, just like that until it finishes. So you can actually change the speed at which you're drawing this. I want to show you something. As you guys can see up here, it's going through 8 times first, making these two colors, green or white, and then it goes to this loop, and then it lifts the pen up, and then it goes to this position, because this position is minus 200, this line is minus 200, and then because this is increasing, this number is increasing, so this will always go up like this. So 1 times 30 is going to be 30. I think this is the place, and this is 60, this is 90, because each time you have, it's going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's done. As you guys can see, I have my checkers board. All right, so this is how you can actually draw a checkers board in Python. Okay, so using the turtle library. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you in our next video. We'll learn more. Okay, please leave a comment in the comment section. So all right, happy learning. Enjoy yourselves, guys. I will see you in our next video. All right, bye bye.